you having problems with your academics? Are you at the bottom of your class and you do not know what to do? Today I will be telling you how to move from the bottom of your class to the top of your class. Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Hello fellow Inspirers, welcome to Inspira Central. My name is Monica and I'm the Chief Inspirer herself. It's good to have you join me. Today I have a special one for students. Whether you're in secondary school, whether you're in university or any tertiary institution, I have these tips for you. Today I will be telling you how to move from the bottom of your class to the top of your class. Are you having problems with your academics? Are you at the bottom of your class and you do not know what to do? You are so scared of flunking out of school. You are scared that you'll be asked to withdraw. Well, I have some tips for you. These are tips that I have seen work back in my university days. Back when I was in school, I saw these tips work, and so I'm going to share them with you today. The first tip that I have for you is assess where you are. Take a good look at where you are. You are at the bottom, right? Good. That's a great place to start. You're wondering why I said that? I'll tell you why. Because you can only go upwards. You cannot go from the bottom to the bottomer. There's no such thing as the bottomest or the bottomer. So you can only go upwards. That means that there is hope. That means you should get excited. That means that it is time to get up from where you are. Take a look at where you are. Obviously you don't like where you are, because if you did, then you will not be watching this video. You will not be wondering how to go from the bottom to the top of your class. So take a good look at where you are. Find out what exactly put you in that situation. How did you get there? Were you not reading your books? Okay. What were you doing wrong? You were spending so much time socializing? Or you were copying notes in class and never reading them when you got back to your house, to your hostel, to wherever it is you live? What exactly is the problem? Have you not been reading your textbooks? What have you been doing wrong? And I need you to be honest, to be very honest with yourself. Remember, this is not about you and somebody else. This is you trying to go from the bottom to the top of your class. So you need to be very honest with yourself. This is time for self-assessment and self-evaluation. What got you here? What brought you to the bottom? What took you to the bottom? Have you always been at the bottom of the class? What have you been doing wrong? Take a good look at everything. Be very, very, very honest. Be very thorough. Look at every area, everything that could have gone wrong, that could have led to this current situation. And then write these things down. Don't think to yourself, I know what it is, I have it at the back of the mind. No, you don't need to have it at the back of the mind. Get your pen and get paper and write these things down. Just write what got me here. Title it as what got me here. Now, when you write that, write everything down and find out what you've been doing wrong. Think long and hard. Take your time. You could spend the whole day doing it. Assess what you've been doing wrong. How have you been spending your time? Have you been spending your time socializing so much so that it's ate into your lecture times? Or you don't even attend lectures? Do you not attend lectures? What really is the problem? Write those things out and then we will move to the next stage. The tip number 2 I will give you is that having written what you've been doing wrong, it's time for you to desire to be at the top. When I say desire, I mean in your mind. See yourself at the top. Want to be at the top. Because if you do not want to be at the top, then there's no need. I mean, you must well turn off this video now. I mean, just click it, turn it off. I want you to be here anyway, but turn it off. It means you do not want to be at the top. But if you really desire to be at the top, then let's continue. See it in your mind's eye. See yourself in your mind's eye at the top of your class. See yourself graduating with whatever it is you want to graduate with. Imagine yourself graduating. Imagine yourself in that graduation gown. Just picture it for a second. Just like, hold the thought, hold the thought, hold the thought, hold the image. Take a mental image, capiche. Take it. Now, having thought of that, imagine yourself. Open your eyes. How do you feel? You feel good, right? Alright? You feel good. Now that takes us to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is ask yourself what it takes to attain that dream. You know, that thing you just envisioned, that thing you just thought about, that thing you saw in your mind's eye. Imagine how you're going to get there. Imagine how you're going to actualize it and make that dream a reality. Just imagine it. Now, write down those steps. It could be that you need to read more. You need to spend more hours reading. Maybe all you do is go to class. You come back, you don't revise, you don't read your notes, you don't read your textbook, and you just think attending classes is enough. But it's never enough. It is never enough. You're giving those notes for a reason. So you need to go home, you need to go to your hostel, you need to go to wherever it is that you spend time after classes and revise those notes. Memorize them, internalize them, understand what you have written, and that will make you understand that thing better, and that will make you actually know it, because there's a difference between I was taught in class and I know it for myself. So you need to know it for yourself. That is where the genius is. That is where the understanding is. That is where the grades are. Yeah. Because you have to be able to say, I know this thing, and then present it in class, maybe during a presentation, maybe during your test, maybe during your exams. So you have to know it. For you to know it, you need to understand what you have jotted down in class. You need to understand what is in your textbooks. You need to understand what the subject matter is about. So do you need to read more? Do you need to revise more? Do you need to read the textbooks? What have you been doing wrong? Do you need to cut down on your sleep hours? Because maybe you're sleeping too much. It's possible. That one is a possibility as well. Are you sleeping too much? It could be. Are you spending too much time socializing? Maybe you need to cut down on social time and spend more time reading your books. Sometimes too, it could well be that you're doing one activity that takes up your time and you don't have enough time to sleep. Yeah. There is plenty sleep, there is little sleep. Do you know that? Yes. Because sometimes it's possible that you're spending so much time doing one extracurricular activity, and you spend so much time doing it that you do it probably till late in the night, only for you to now spend less time sleeping. Like I said, there is too much sleep and there is little sleep. So you need to find a balance in the middle. That is when you're getting adequate sleep. So do not trade in your sleep, because your sleep helps you function cognitively. It means it helps you think better. If you sleep better, you will think better. If you sleep better, you will be more friendly, you will interact better. So sleep enough, but do not sleep too much. So find out what it takes for you to achieve that thing that you have dreamt about, that thing you have envisioned, that dream that you now want for yourself. Remember that the goal is to get from the bottom to the top of your class. The tip number 4 that I'll give you is change your habits. Now that you know what it takes for you to move from the bottom to the top of your class, you also need to change your habits. Remember that your habits are behaviors you have inculcated over time. They are things that you've been doing for a long time. And from all indications, these habits have not paid off. These things you have been doing over time have not paid off. And that is why you now need to change them. You need to switch them up. You need to toss aside some habits. You need to improve on some habits. And you need to adapt new habits. So, change your habits. For instance, if you've been sleeping for only 4 hours, try your very best to cut down on certain things so that you can sleep for no less than 7 hours. Experts say that the adult human needs to sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours every night. So try your best to get at least 7 hours every night. Also, if you need to join study groups, that could also be helpful, because there are some study groups that have this way of bringing out your inner genius. There are some study groups that are good for you, but you also need to be careful with study groups, because there are some of them that become some sort of distraction. They take up too much time. They don't give you enough time for personal study, which is very important, which you cannot trade in for group study. Personal study is paramount, and I'm telling you that even if you never attend any group study and you have a lot of personal study time, where of course you know what you're doing, you're reading the right materials, you're reading the right text, and you're spending enough time, you're understanding, you are assimilating, you will do well even without group studies. But be that as it may, some group studies help. It's just for you to make sure you join the right groups and you study for the certain number of time that you should, get enough rest, then also do your personal study. Then you can also do personal study like I've talked about. Do personal study. In fact, that is compulsory. Try and do that. Try and make it a part of your daily routine to read every day. And don't read just one thing. If you have, for instance, 10 subjects, if you have 10 courses for that semester or that term, depending on if you're in secondary school or you're in the university, whatever number of courses you have a timetable. Monday, certain time to certain time, read these courses. Then from a certain time to a certain time, read the other courses. Then Tuesday, the same thing. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now you should give time for a break. But remember, we are trying to get to the top. We've been at the bottom for too long. So we're not talking about breaks now. But breaks are necessary. Probably on Sundays. Probably on Sundays, because you could still do extra on Saturdays. You could still read extra on Saturdays. Create a timetable, follow the timetable, and make sure you touch on every subject. Touch on every course, so that you are not just a master in one course while you're failing and carrying over other courses. Tip number 5 that I'll give you is, as you adapt new habits and you have done it for a period of time, it is time for you to analyze your success rate. Find time to look back, to reflect on how far you have come. Ask yourself if these new habits you have adapted have improved your scores. Check if your scores have improved. Did you do well on the midterm test? Did you do well in last semester's exam? Are you answering questions now in class? Are you more confident? Are you more familiar with the subject matter? Can you talk about courses, subjects, topics that you never could have before? Are you improving? Ask yourself these questions. And like I said before, be honest. Be very honest with yourself. Don't say yes, I can, whereas things haven't changed. No, this is not an ego boost. It's not an ego trip. This is you versus yourself. This is you wanting to grow. This is you wanting to become better. This is you wanting to go from the bottom to the top. This is you wanting to change the way things have been. This is you wanting to change for the better. So it's not about your ego. It's not about what you think. It's not about you trying to hide behind your ego. No. It is you being honest with yourself. It is you telling yourself the truth. Reflect. Look at what you have been doing. Have these new habits changed your life for the better? Have they changed your grades for the better? Have they improved your score over time? Are you seeing any positive changes? If you are, well done. Keep it up. Keep working on those habits. Keep improving those habits. Keep improving those scores. But if you are not, then it's time for you to find out what is wrong. Ask yourself, what am I doing wrong this time? I now sleep for 7 hours, but I still read more than I used to read. So why have I not moved from an E to a C? Why haven't I? Why have I not moved from a C to a B? Why have I not got an A in spite of how hard I try? Ask yourself these questions, and please be kind. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be forgiving. Be patient with yourself. Don't do it with this air of frustration. Don't do it with this air of negativity. Don't do it with this air of, I just have to pass. I just have to get to the top. Be patient. Come on, love on yourself, be patient with yourself. While being patient with yourself, you have to still be honest with yourself. You want to grow. Growth is the important thing. So you need to be honest with yourself. And you also need to reflect genuinely on what the issue is. And then fix what you're doing wrong. If you need to spend more time reading, or if you've been reading the wrong text, get away those textbooks, throw them out. Go find out what your mates are reading. Find out what the lecturer recommended. Find out what it is that you need to read. Find out the right thing and read it. Get rid of the wrong text. If that text is outdated, if that's not the current one, if that's not what they are using, get rid of it. Go and find out what it is that others are reading. Find out what it is that the A students are reading. And when I say others, I'm not saying people at the bottom. No, those bottom benchers can stay there. We are trying to get to the top. So those people at the top, find out what those people at the top are reading. And then read those same books. Read them, reread them, understand them, internalize them, memorize them, recall them. Write down what you have understood from a text. When you read, write down something you understand. I'm not saying if you read something, let's say you just finished reading something, you're just like, okay, you go and write it verbatim. You look at this one, you go and write it verbatim. No. What I'm saying is, you've read a text, then close your eyes and say to yourself, what did I read? Try to recall what you read. Say it aloud. Or get a piece of paper and write it down. Say the major points that you read, or write them down. Then go back to your textbook, look at it, compare it with what you have written. When you compare the two, you ask yourself, what important points did I miss out here? And then you try to read it again, understand it, memorize it, and then internalize it again. Then you try to recall what you have read and write it down again. That's the way to go about it. So like I said, if what you've been doing has not been working, try out this tip I just gave. Then get the right textbooks, read the right textbooks, join groups, good groups, don't spend too much time there, and also ensure that you do personal studies. Personal study on a daily basis should become your priority. Make sure you touch on every subject, every course, so that you're not just a master of one side and then you don't know anything in the other side. Now that brings me to the last tip I have for you. The last tip I have for you is pile on the good habits. Habits, 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 habits. Remember that we are creatures of habits, and everything you have achieved up till now is as a result of your habits. If you have good habits, then you will be more successful. But if you have bad habits, then they will also reflect in your lack of success. I wouldn't call it failure, because there's always room for growth. There's always room to bounce back. And this video is on how to bounce back, how to get up from the bottom to the top of your class. So pile on the new habits. When you have seen the results of the good habits that you had inculcated earlier, you can add on more good habits. For instance, if you never used to exercise, you could start exercising, because that is going to release some hormones. Those hormones will keep you active, mentally alert, and they would also keep you healthier. So if you do that, exercising is one good one you could add on. You could also add on some other good habits, not just exercising. Maybe eat better. Yes, eat better. Because if you eat better, if you're not eating junk, if you're not eating things that are unhealthy, you'll see that you will have a healthy mind. You will have a healthy body, you have a healthy mind. And when you are healthy, when you're strong, when you're agile, you will do better academically. Then you will understand things better and you assimilate more. These are some other good habits that you can pile on. So pile on the good habits and ensure that you do not go back to those bad habits that have brought you to the bottom. I hope these tips will help you move from the bottom of your class to the top of your class, because I would love to see you succeed. Fellow inspirers, I love to inspire you and I love to see you at the top. Try on these tips and tell me how they have helped you. Tell me how they have helped you improve your grades, how they have helped you move from an E to a C, and how you have moved from a C to an A. Yes, it's possible to have an A, and I would love to know that you are an A person, especially if you were an E person in the past. I would love to read your comments. Please drop your comments below and tell me how these tips have helped you become more successful and achieve your dreams in school. If you want to watch more of such videos, please subscribe to my channel. Simply click the subscribe button and get subscribed today. Also, do not forget to click the notification button so you'll be notified as soon as I update. Please like and share my videos. I enjoyed bringing this video. Did you enjoy watching it? I hope you did. Thank you for giving me your time. Don't forget to be an inspiration. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Please subscribe, click the notification button, like this channel, share our videos, and follow us on social media. Thank you very much. Inspira Central. Inspira Central.